Hello, welcome to Reality. I'm Nicole Torpy Mason. On this episode, we're going to cover Season 15, Episode 2 of The Bachelorette with comedian Tim Higgins. Tim is a comedy sports performer and instructor who has been there since 1992 to 2017 and Midnight Show founding member from 2001 to present. Tim has been part of the Milwaukee comedy scene since the early 90s and is still going strong. You can see him perform every Saturday at the Midnight Show at Comedy Sports and the second Tuesday each month at Voyager at Hawthorne Coffee Roasters. On the weekends, he gives tours for the Milwaukee Brewing Company. He's part of Red Letter Media and their Best of the Worst movie reviews. In August, he will perform at Milwaukee Chamber Theater's opening show for their 45th season. If that isn't enough, he's also going to be in a movie called The Field that will be released this fall through Gravitas Ventures, in which he got to work with Barry Bostwick, Mark Metcalf, and Veronica Cartwright. Co-host Ryan Mason will be headlining the historic Pabst Tap Room on May 24th and 25th. Please follow us on Twitter at TO_pod and on Instagram at Welcome to Reality MKE. And now on to the show.
Welcome to Reality. I am Ryan Mason, as always, joined by my lovely wife and co-host, Nicole Torpy Mason.
Hello.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, we're getting there. You said my name with less disdain than usual.
Yes. She didn't take my last name exactly.
I did take it. I kept mine, took yours.
Yep. Double down. Double down. And we're here this week with Tim Higgins.
Hi.
Hi, Tim. Good to have you on the show, Tim.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. He's in Shorewood. That's our podcast location. Are you excited to be here or just like in Shorewood?
In Shorewood.
Yeah.
I mean, the air got sweeter once you cross under that bike bridge.
That's pine needles. That's what you're smelling. Pine.
It's like Esterbrook. What?
Yes.
Park.
The crisp waters of above the Esterbrook Dam. These are all like really sharp.
I'll tell you one thing. I saw a turkey.
Yeah.
I saw a turkey in our neighborhood yesterday, and it blew my mind. I thought it was an emu. I've never seen a turkey so big.
Turkey.
Yeah,
big old Tom.
Yeah, they can get big.
Yeah.
So this
and
is
near the city, no less.
Yes.
I mean, what's it doing?
Welcome to our podcast, Turkey Talk.
Turkey Talk.
Where are my gobblers out there? This goes out to all you butterball heads. No. Welcome to Reality. We're a podcast about introducing reality virgins to the world of reality TV by forcing comedians, improv actors, producers, musicians, all kinds of people to the world of reality TV. And why do we do it? Why would you say we do it?
I'm just trying to spread the joy.
Spread the good word. Nicole often will say that she's the Johnny Appleseed.
No, because that's a fake story, and
no, he was real.
He's a real person, but that's like
He didn't actually.
Well, first,
wear a pot on his head. He did.
I don't Google it. People made alcohol out of apples. They're not actually like edible.
I think he was drunk.
Everybody was drunk all the time back then.
Well, anyways, this is our podcast, the Johnny Appleseed
Google
podcast.
It's whatever. It's not
Childhood.
We'll leave that up to the dollars.
Or don't Google it if you don't want to know.
Yeah, I would say we do it because Nicole loves reality TV and she's always trying to convince new people to get into it. And I am, as like a person who joins with her in this, like I watch a lot of it when I come home from shows and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like a fun topic to talk about.
I believe it. I do not get into it very much because mostly I watch TV alone.
Okay.
And reality TV is there's the sheen is less when you don't have anybody to turn to and it's like look at this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
See, I told you, and I can do that to my cats.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you tend to watch when you watch TV alone?
Man, what do I love cartoons.
Okay.
I like cartoons. I watch I have Netflix and
that's
like,
just mostly he's bragging now.
Yeah, well, it's not really bragging when that's all you have, or you have network or like the dish, not dish, but digital,
direct TV or whatever.
Digital TV. No, not even that. Just like
indirect TV,
indirect, non-direct, like on the side TV. No, just something you plug in and it's like the local stuff.
Cartoons
so I got
is a
Star
good
Network.
point. Like, cartoons to me, when people are like, I like cartoons, I always think that, like, cartoons can point out things about real life, like real society, because they don't seem like real. And sometimes reality shows can feel like that too. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm watching a reality show, I'm like, oh, this isn't real life. But then they can do something that makes me like reflect, where I'm like, oh yeah, humanity is broken. You know what I mean? Like,
now, when you say cartoons, though, do you mean like adult? Like
I'll
Adult
watch.
Swim?
I mean,
you mean like adult cartoons?
I have not watched Peppa Pig.
Sure.
You should. Peppa Pig, very calming.
It is very calming, but I mean, like, I love SpongeBob. Is like one of the things that our kids watch that I could watch on my own. I love that show. It's very good.
Amazing World of Gumball.
Oh yeah. My kids watch that too. But you don't have.
There's just some.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, that show's great.
Oh,
Wonder Falls, those shows. Yeah, those shows.
Yeah, Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Wonder Falls is a TV show from like the 90s.
Yeah, that's like one of those weird. Yeah.
Check out Wonder Falls if you've got a DVD subscription to, I don't know, not Netflix.
But yeah, something that it's like the Samurai Jack.
Okay, that's
like the Andy Tartakovsky, whatever.
Wow, that's like the world you're coming from. Cool. We have people on this show all the time where it's like, we had a person on who was like, I'm an MMA guy and I mostly watch like sports.
Yeah.
Or like we've had people who are, I would say, maybe more into like stuff kind of that you're into, cartoons and stuff. Maybe.
But I would say there's but every genre of TV show, you can find a reality show that fits into that. Because there was that like cosplay show that I made you watch a bunch. That was great. I mean, I guess that's technically reality.
Yeah.
That one was really fun, and I'm sure there's like other.
Yeah, that show where they made them make cosplay outfits.
So good.
What was that called? Face Off or something like that.
Gosh, I don't know.
It was called
remember.
like The Price is Right.
No.
Is that it?
But was it like you're an effects artist and you have to make all this stuff?
Well,
and
Face Off is the one that's like the makeup. But there was a cosplay one called like it was like a superhero themed type show, and I cannot think of it. But it
so
was
you
people
think
who,
you can furry?
No, it was people who go to compete at Comic-Cons. It's gonna drive me crazy.
America's Next Top
what's her
Model.
name? The redhead woman who
I don't know. You're deep into your own world.
It's fine. But my point is, I feel like there's reality for like any genre you're into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the sci-fi nerd, like, are you a little bit of a sci-fi like guy?
Not really. No, it's
You're
like
just a
I like
different
crime
kind of
procedurals.
Yeah.
I like.
Yes.
I like.
Yes.
I love crime procedurals.
I like. I've just started. So I'm trying to delve.
So Friends and.
Oh my god! Thank you, Netflix.
And Boston Legal. That's your sweet spot.
Yeah. Oh.
It was called Heroes of Cosplay.
Heroes of Cosplay. That is a good show. That was a good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Give a little background about Tim. Tim, I know you because you are on two of my favorite shows in Milwaukee where I produce shows. Mm-hmm. I think of you as like kind of one of our co-producers because you have to organize the improv team for Voyager and for my show, Deep Space. It's really our show, the people who are on it. And you have an extensive improv background. So talk a little bit about your comedy background, I guess.
Well,
toot your own horn. He's the best. He's going to be really modest here, but Tim's like the best.
Well, my sister did improv in high school, and I was 4 years younger than my sister, and so I was just like, I hate you. That looks cool. And for some reason, like, her junior and senior year, instead of torturing me, she's like,
come on.
Yeah. I'll show you around. She took me to the school and all that stuff, and she's like, this is what I do and all that.
That's awesome.
So, that's cool.
And can we say what your sister, like, what her claim to fame is in terms of, like, acting?
Yeah, sure.
She's the...
Do you want to say it?
She's the queen at the Renaissance Fair, right?
She is the Bristol Renaissance Fair queen. Yes.
I did not know that.
It's not a small thing. Like, if you know...
No, it's
like,
big.
the Bristol Renaissance Fair is this Renaissance Fair that's in between Chicago and Milwaukee. So it's the closest one to Chicago, one of the major metropolitan areas, in the United States.
That's big.
And it's a big one.
Yeah.
And so she has, like, a really prominent role. That's pretty
How long has she been doing that?
For at least, I want to say 3 or 4 years now.
Awesome.
You've served as like one of the king's men or something, have you not?
No, I was, and that was one of those things that I didn't follow my sister's footsteps.
She lives in that world. And you live outside of it.
I met that world. And meeting
Should that be a reality show?
Ooh, my goodness.
I mean, it's borderline cosplay. I mean, it's cosplay, right?
Yeah, like, definitely.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to turn a camera on.
Oh, my God. I would watch that so hard. If you just, like...
my goodness. It's like this is your freshman year of being, like...
a Renaissance
Fair grounds person.
Oh gosh, I would watch that so hard.
You're not a part of a crew. No, you're a part of
You could throw it on History Channel too, or something like that. You know, like History or Discovery, because they have all those shows where it's like...
Because they're all characters, but it would have to be HBO. Because
that's pretty dirty.
Probably a lot of fucking...
I was going to say, are they all doing each other? Because that's like all theater kids are always fucking each other.
Yeah, you know? And then once you go into the Renaissance Fair, it's just like, we're in the woods, and everybody's thought about this.
And it's like, remember
so why didn't I do it?
Yeah. Remember that girl you have a crush on? Now she's dressed in an amazing costume. Yeah. Now you're thinking about that. Yeah. Like, that's
There's
wild.
a lot of booby stuff going on.
That's a whole thing. Cleavage, you could drown in.
Yeah, and thanks for joining our podcast. Cleavage talk. Talk about your background in improv.
Yeah, so
cleavage, guys. Stop talking.
So my sister did improv.
My sister's cleavage.
Stuck to him. No, disgusting. The queen didn't show.
Long live the queen.
Yeah, the queen would never.
But she did improv. She was part of the high school leagues of comedy sports, short form, competitive improv format. Improv show, and she graduated. And the following year, I became a freshman, and I was just like, "Hey, I know you guys," and they're like, "Yeah, you were all right." And so I didn't get to be on the team, but they allowed me to sit there and watch their workshops, and they'd practice every week. And then eventually,
and you've been trying to get them to give you credit ever since.
Oh my God!
They're trying to.
It's just like, won't you?
They still won't give you your day in the sun.
Tom Bishop, I swear to God, you don't acknowledge me.
Pick up the phone, Todd.
Do you want me to bleep that later?
Yeah. Bleep it, but do that bleep where you know where it is, where it's like, wow, Bishop. You know what I mean?
Do
that one.
Bishop.
So you've been doing it ever since, and people talk about comedy sports like Dick Chud now and like the stuff they've done. It's a national organization, and it's something that's... It's probably not as notable as some of the ones that people like think about to the south of us in Chicago. But in my mind, since I've lived through it and lived like here, met, taken courses there, like it's as fine an organization for that type of art form that you'll ever find, honestly. With a great pedigree of individuals who have come through and done it. And to me, Tim's like the creme de la creme. You're a queen in your own right.
I am. Yes. 27 years.
Amazing.
I've been doing it.
That's amazing.
Awesome. That's a true calling. Which is why we have you on our improv team for not that you're the improv team that we seek out for Voyager, because that's the most. I mean, we always say it's like 100 years of comedy when you get people up there, which is cool. So cool. Yeah. So you're probably like me. You don't have a lot of time to watch TV. Mm-hmm. Like, so when we were like, hey, watch 2 hours of ABC's The Bachelor, you're like, let me just carve out 2 hours of my day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have discovered in doing this show that a lot of the shows I watch are in fact 2 hours, and that's surprising.
Did you realize watching The Bachelorette that it was 2 hours long while you were watching it?
No, and thankfully, because I watched it edited. I watched all the commercials were out. Yeah. So it was technically it was only an hour and 47 minutes.
Thank God. Those 15 minutes probably just flew by.
The recaps alone, I would have blown my brains out, because those are the worst things, because it's just like, what's going to come? And then it's just like, remember what we were going to show you?
They do
here it is.
That,
It's like,
before we go too far.
Chad's going to get pissed, and then it's like, Chad's not as pissed as we said he was.
Yeah.
Like,
before
that's
we
what
go
it
too
is.
far into this, we like to ask what reality shows you currently watch, if any, and kind of what you grew up watching.
Well, I think I was old enough when it shit. Could you go back to like the dating game? Is that sort of reality type stuff?
We should say that Tim is 100 years old.
Yeah.
Dating game.
The dating game.
We only watched reality show flip books.
We told the flip book stories. We didn't see the actual flip book.
Shadows on candlelight.
Yeah, date night. Like, is it called date night? Like the one with the big like splashy.
No, dating game.
Dating game.
There was the dating game.
Yeah.
There was
Rodney Alcala.
Who's that?
He's a serial killer who was on the dating game.
Did he win?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Won a lot.
She didn't go on the date with him.
Do you know this?
She didn't go on the date with him because he creeped her out.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Good on her.
Good on her. And he killed her for it.
So I mean, there was that stuff.
Sure.
I mean, the real life
Real world.
The real world came out. The first thing that I watched, like probably a marathon of, was the original Road Rules. The first Road
Okay.
Rules.
Oh yeah. So it was so compelling.
Yeah.
Is
It's
that like Tim and
Yes, Mark
Long?
Mark Long,
and-
yeah.
Okay.
It's like early on. Those are some of the people that were on it. Yeah.
Holy
Cat.
shit.
Cat.
You know what? I honestly
That might be season
I
2.
watched Road Rules, but I wasn't as into it as
It's a great
Real
show.
World. I know I was super into Semester at Sea. It was one of my faves, which is like everybody hates that season.
Okay, so explain
But-
Road Rules if there's somebody listening who's like a young person who's never heard of what Road Rules is.
They found a Winnebago. They packed it with
College
7 to 8
students.
college students. And I'm like, now you're going to go across the wonderful country of ours, doing
Yeah.
little things in different areas. And
I remember as like a 16-year-old watching that being like, this seems like the coolest thing you could ever do. And now
Right.
that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, I can't imagine something more disgusting.
Yeah.
than
Also,
this.
can I say that one of the seasons of Road Rules was like one of the first reality competition shows I saw where people actually got kicked off.
Yes.
yeah.
And I remember being like very annoyed by that. Like I was like, what is the point? Like they're kicking people. Like I was so mad about it.
And now
because-
you're obsessed with shows. So
Well,
that's the point.
I mean, yeah, of course. Like the Challenge is one of
Brother.
my favorite shows. Big Brother.
Yeah, the challenge is.
Yeah.
tonight
I
was
watched the
last
first
episode.
or second season of Survivor.
Yeah.
Remember when that
Yeah,
show
I'm
started?
watching
So
it
you
right
really
now.
it seems like you get in during like cultural like big moments. That's kind of a Gen X like kind of thing though.
Mm-hmm.
Like is that like the big cultural moments like the first American Idol, the first Survivor.
Yeah, it's huge. And then you watch it and you're like, this is amazing. And then you're like, I'm going to watch this again. And you're like, okay, that was
kinda
kind
the
of
same
the
thing.
same
I'm
thing.
watching-
And then it's just like,
I'm watching
That's very
Survivor
much like
from the
that
beginning.
generation.
I'm watching Survivor from the beginning right now because I like to see how much Ryan actually loves me. And
It allows me to leave the house a lot.
and my little brother, who's like a Survivor super fan, was telling me the first season of Survivor, the season finale, got like 51 million viewers, which is like
Unheard of.
unheard
Yeah,
of. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
wild. Like it was just a different time of TV, but also of
So
reality
like,
TV.
and I always joke about this with like Gen Xers is like, before the internet, before you could like burn a CD and give it to your friends, it was like everybody in your high school was into Dave Matthews Band. It wasn't like a question. It was like that's what you would listen to or whatever. My friend John always talks about this. He's like, no, we all at least had a few things that we could all connect on and say like this was something that.
Yeah.
So like I think the reality TV shows of that time, Survivor, being one of those first ones, Real World is very common. If you talk to anybody who's like in their mid to late 30s, like they will know a reality season of MTV and backwards and forwards. Like
And
I remember exact moments.
I know.
of
I
the
always
shows.
claim that I can guess somebody's age based on what their first season of Real World is.
Yeah, what's your favorite Real World season? Or the
Not
one
favorite
or the one
first, but you said
Oh,
the first
yeah,
one.
I mean, the
yeah,
first one,
but that
I mean,
so there's a little bit of blind spot for first one, and my students that I work with now who will be like, I don't watch Real World.
But
And I'm
you're
like, well,
from
so young.
you're from this area, right? From Milwaukee.
yeah.
So like, I want to know like for me, I grew up in like a more rural part of Wisconsin. I was like, holy shit, a gay person. Like when I saw season 2 or 3, is it 3?
Well,
With
what's your
Pedro
first
Zamora,
season?
like
3? Yeah.
I was like, that would never occurred to me.
Wait, is it 3? No, that
Like,
might be 2. San Francisco?
'cause-
No, San Diego's 2, right?
San Francisco's 3, I think.
Yeah, I think it's New York, San Diego.
Whatever
San
it might
Francisco.
be. But was that like, were you watching it as like cultural spectacle, or like were you experiencing something new?
That's a good question. I mean, when
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ryan. I will accept
And that's the podcast.
Yeah. Huh?
I wouldn't
Ryan
until
wins
somebody
the question.
compliments me. And then
Ryan is one a compliment. Thank you. See, the problem was when that all started out, I all heard secondhand stuff about it because I did not have cable growing up. So MTV was out of the question. I only saw that Road Rules thing because I moved out of my house after high school and then got stuck in my friend's apartment because it was like 30 below zero. And just like, well, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's on TV.
might as well watch every episode of Road Rules.
Yeah, and it's just like, we got the whole season of Road Rules right now, and it's just like, okay, well, watch it.
Yeah.
And then 3 episodes in, it's like,
Yeah, it's
oh my
very
God, I
compelling,
love
yeah.
this.
Good TV. I mean, it really
Yeah.
is.
So we
and that's another thing. Also, cooking shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like cooking competition shows. I'm like, I'd love to watch it, but I just hear friends talk about it, and it's like, we all get together and we watch it. I'm like, I'm not going to invite
the
myself.
real tea here is that you don't have friends. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it. That's it, Ryan.
you have friends,
And
you
welcome
just- you
to
can't relate
Tim's
to that.
Crying, a
Lonely
podcast.
Do you don't watch any? Do you watch any reality right now at all, or? And we'll
I guess
include
not.
cooking shows in that.
Yeah, no, I guess not really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we forced Tim to watch a full 2 hours of The Bachelorette, and spoiler alert, he watched the first episode of The Bachelorette.
Each episode is 2 fucking hours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 hours.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I didn't watch the first episode. So I think what we'll do is we'll break down the men, and then Nicole and I will go through episode 2 of The Bachelorette and talk about what kind of transpired on that episode.
Yeah, I mean, we
But
could
let's-
just talk about the
but
people.
let's talk about Hannah though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to see
Alabama Hammer.
Alabama ham sandwich.
Alabama ham sandwich.
It's so hard to say.
Yeah.
Alabama, and
Hammer.
also we should say what a great time for Alabama.
No shit, right? Once it's she's I'm from Tuscaloosa. I'm like, oh, you're
Ever
poor,
heard of it?
You're poor uterus.
But she also like spending a lot of time like on the episode that we watched, specifically on the second episode. She mentioned she likes like little dudes, right?
I wrote it down and I cannot now. I don't know
about
who it was, but she says about somebody. Oh,
They don't bring
I'll have to
anything
look it
like
up.
specifically political.
No,
like
but she-
ABC would never
She,
do that.
I mean, she doesn't, but she says something to the effect of, "I like him a lot because he's Southern and he has that Southern gentleman, but he's open to meeting new people and having new experiences." Oh, because they do on this episode they do like a pageant thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And 2 of the judges are drag queens.
Yes.
So
I did notice. Yeah.
Yeah. You saw
I watched
next
like
summer.
the first. No, and I started watching the next episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
But I
okay.
was just like, I should just watch it, and then I'm like, no, they wanted me
So
to
you
watch
watched
the first
all the
one.
reveals, like all the guys getting out of the car, right?
Yeah.
And like
I mean, those
Yeah,
are,
and
those
being
are so
like
fun.
Joey B.
yeah.
That, like,
Joe B.
That's like Ryan's favorite part.
That's
of
my
any of
favorite
the
part.
Bachelor
Is they
basketball.
get up, and so I miss that. So I would love to hear your breakdown. Give me some memorable ones. There's some guys that you're like, here was a good one, here was a bad one. Do you know what I mean? Or you're like, this is a good one.
Well, I mean, there was. He's still on it. Oh crap! What was his name?
Did the guy who played the guitar? Did he come
Jed.
out? Jed.
That's
He didn't
Jed.
come out. He didn't come out playing
He
the
didn't come
guitar.
out playing the
He
guitar,
had
yeah.
like a blue velour coat.
Can I say one thing
she
before
hugged
we-
him. She's like, "Ooh, I like your coat."
Yeah, can I say one thing before we go into this?
That's
There
weird,
was
though, right?
very few stunt coming out of the cars.
Yeah,
Like,
because all these
typically-
guys are too afraid.
Typically, there'll be someone who's wearing like a costume.
Yeah.
There's someone who's wearing like
A mask.
A mask. There's like, there was
A
a
full
few of
night
them, but there
suit.
was hardly any goofy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I find that to be bullcrap.
There was Box Guy who I loved, and he got ripped
Joey-
off. He should
Liked
have.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, at least
Box
then-
King, come
Oh my
on.
God, the puns alone.
Did he make like a like?
He got boxed out.
Hey, they boxed him up.
He
Sent it
boxed
back in.
No, he made a joke about the size of his package,
Oh, his
rather
package.
than
Oh,
a
man.
vagina joke. If that's what you're asking.
Well,
Yeah,
that,
but
that's
got a
something
big
like they kind
package
of
like
put him
that
in a
before.
box.
When he made that joke and he just like quick, you saw his eyes dart to the TV. It's like, you like the size of that package?
He was so. I
There's
felt
so
like,
many.
Anybody?
I felt like he was uncomfortable with the joke. Like he was just like, check out my my package. And he was like,
they were like, look, you got to do a thing.
You have to.
That's like a box thing. Okay, I know
those are my dad's jokes.
I know, but that's your thing. And he's like, what if I sing Simon and Garfunkel's The Boxer? And they're like, that's a sad song.
That's a reference that nobody knows.
Have you ever heard of female genitalia reference to as a box?
Yes, that's what they called me in high school. They called me The Box.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah. Well, don't say that. Let's talk about packages.
Oh, yeah, packaging's fine.
Oh, yeah, cool. Any size package.
And then he was like, he bought in on the packaging thing. That was so great.
Oh.
He seemed compelling, but she also was just like,
him. I wanted more of him. I feel like,
but he was provincial.
I feel like Joe the Box King and Joe the Grocer both got a bad go of it. Joe the Grocer was from 2 Bachelors ago, if you recall. He was or Bachelorettes ago. He was also a Chicago guy.
I guess the lesson there is like, you don't want to be in packaging in any way. You don't want to be somebody who's doing bags.
There was something fucked up with that forklift because it should only beep going backwards.
You're right.
When it was driving off forwards and it was still beeping,
those were probably put in post.
I was like, I cannot watch the show.
That took you out of it. That took
I don't know what I'll say about that. I felt like putting all those packaging peanuts on the ground was a nightmare. And they made a joke of it later where Chris had to like...
Imagine.
He's just like, fuck that Joe.
Can you imagine?
Son of a bitch. Like, he was one of the nicest guys ever. And you're shitting on something.
I imagine
that your show made him do.
I know, who most definitely didn't come up with that on his own.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's the
Yeah.
producers of the show. Yeah. Imagine like a forklift driver who's like also a really big Bachelor fan calling ABC and being like, yeah, I'm a big fan, but I have some specific forklift
issues. You change it, you go back.
He's like
we're taking a lot of these calls this week. Can I put you on hold?
My forklift, it beeps going forward.
Yeah,
that's the problem I have.
So I always figured the guy who plays guitar would have come out and like led with that, but you're saying he led with like the velour jacket, which is very much a like, I'm not good looking, so I'm gonna wear something. Can I say this?
She seemed very intrigued by him, and
Jed.
In
the second episode, we should say
he plays the guitar.
He does play the guitar.
He plays the guitar. Yeah,
he's a good.
His voice is very nice.
Yeah, I would love to come on here and be like, this guy sucks, and like I hate the fact that he pulled out a guitar. But then he played it, and I was like, this isn't like offensive, you know. Also, and that's hard to do.
I'm gonna make a reference that neither of you are gonna get.
Jack
you might get it, but
Uncle Cracker.
He is like a Nick Viall before picture, because like Nick Viall is a previous Bachelor contestant
from this area.
Yeah, Milwaukee native.
I think
not enough native. I love him, and he's a polarizing.
Wait,
character.
say what you're gonna say.
Sorry,
say what I was
he's a polarizing character. Some people love him, some people hate him. I actually really like him, but he is someone who I feel like his body does not match his face, and his body is very, very buff, and he's kind of like whatever. And I feel like Jeff had that, but like Nick Viall has been on like 8 seasons of The Bachelor.
What a specific thing to say.
And he has continued to bulk up his body, but his face still just doesn't match that bulked up body. And he's not unattractive. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that. He's attractive.
Can I ask how you bulk up your face?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I think it's that he just doesn't look like he doesn't look like a bro, and he's got this like just
yoked bod,
insane bro bod, and it's wild.
Yeah,
and so I feel like this guy's gonna get
Kelsey
bulked up.
Grammer was like super yoked.
No,
yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Kelsey Grammer's not attractive though.
Oh well.
Okay, well
that's the end of
this. But it's a face that doesn't belong.
But sure, same idea. And I feel like this guy's
it's like a 70-year-old when you see it.
Yeah, when you see
take
like
off your shirt, old man, and they're like,
it's like a Jack LaLanne situation.
Yeah, Jack LaLanne.
Get the fuck out.
Jack LaLanne, though, rest in peace. And we should say we dedicate this podcast to Jack LaLanne.
I have his juicer.
Tim likes to tip back a big old Jack LaLanne, a LaLanne cocktail, a LaLanne light. He's drinking a LaLanne light.
So did you see the Sorry, this is so random, but did you see the roller derby part then?
No.
Oh, okay.
So they made the guys do roller derby, which was interesting. They made them do like a talent show. Mm-hmm. Most of their talents were like walking up and reading a poem. That's their thing on the show when like they don't have a talent. They make them go up and read a poem.
I have to say, I thought the men on this episode did a really good job of their talents generally compared to, like, I've seen some
seasons past
with women, or either women or men, where I was like, woof.
There's always one woman who's like, I'm just going to go up there and tell it like it is, and then they really embarrass themselves because they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which, like, you're in the world of improv, and, like, you've teach classes, like, you've seen people where you're like, okay, now you have to do the thing, like, kind of that you set out to do.
Yeah.
And that's hard to watch.
But
So
also,
they didn't have any of that.
But also, like, I'm not, like, throwing shade on anyone, because if someone said you have to be in a talent show, that's, like, a full-blown nightmare for me. I'd just be like, you know what? I gotta go.
You would leave. What would you do?
I don't know.
Because, like, you couldn't necessarily go up there and do solo improv.
Right.
Well, I could possibly do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been
you
done.
Go.
But,
Subject from the audience.
Like,
and they'd be like,
give me more.
Kissing.
But you've done, like, long-form type solo stuff, right? I feel like I've seen you do something that
I've had.
solo.
I mean,
He's done stand-up
there's
before.
been.
Okay, yeah.
I have done stand-up.
Okay, yeah.
So
I don't get out a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I don't do stand-up often.
Yeah,
I'm trying to break out of that. Trying to be like, give me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I think I got 3 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but then again, I'm
go,
like, nah, fuck it.
I would go up and do stand-up, but it would be, like, very weird to go up in a talent show sort of format and then be like, go do my act.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, my act is built for specific situations, comedy clubs, comedy shows, and things like that.
But you could
so
do
I
it.
would juggle.
Talent.
Yeah.
You could
I would
do
try.
it.
I could do it, yeah.
Because it's probably a group of, like, so you have to manage.
We should say Hannah would pick me if we were on a show.
Can I just tell you that Ryan's thesis on this, or whatever, theory, whatever.
No, my theory is not that I would win the
that you could win either The Bachelor or The Bachelor.
No, I would specifically The Bachelor.
You would win The Bachelor.
If there was
first time ever.
One dude on The Bachelor. They should put one dude on The Bachelor. Every year, there should be one dude. And, like, I'm not saying, but I'd be like,
and
look,
they have to stay.
They have to stay.
Until, like, the last 10.
Because the guys get so close when they're on these shows.
But, okay, but they don't get close with the contestants. They get close with each other because they spend the vast majority of their time together and not with the person they're dating.
Yeah.
I just feel like if it was like, okay, you could win, it's like bro hangs with this guy, you know, or like these women who cry a lot, like the bro hangs guy's gonna win, you know, and anything goes in the hot tub.
I mean, that's fine.
Jets around,
yeah.
Shows the party.
Hey, buddy, back to back, nobody's looking. Chris Harrison's out of the room. Come on, buddy.
Sweeping up them peanuts still.
Bros before Rose.
Fine.
That's what I'm saying. Bros before Rose.
Okay, I have a really important question about the Mr. Right, or was it Mr. Right pageant? Okay, so the very first part was a Speedo, whatever. They had to walk around in their Speedos.
Yes.
Now, some of the guys wore shoes and some did not. What would you, if you had to go on stage in a Speedo, what would you go with?
Just socks.
Right here, you're looking at him. You're looking at him.
Tevas. Locked and loaded, baby.
I get locked and loaded in my Tevas. What if there's something slippery? And then... you said socks?
Maybe I'd like steal a pair of like hospital like footies.
The only thing I would say is like you either go like juxtaposition, like combat boots.
Okay, see, but
or
that...
like
okay.
steel toe boots.
Or cowboy boots or something,
cowboy
right?
boots.
Yeah.
Like, because that gives like... That's at least funny.
So the one guy wore like they weren't
sneakers.
The best
the best
I can explain it is like a beetle boot, like a. They weren't heeled, so it's not exactly a beetle boot, but like a
mid-size.
Yeah, like an ankle boot that's not a work boot.
Interesting.
You know, so one guy wore that, and that was the one I really noticed because I was like, what, why? Because like to me that is such a pant shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that maybe he didn't bring other shoes to the date, but then go barefoot, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Go barefoot.
I can't imagine not being barefoot.
I would love it just like to shuffle like with socks. Like
right up the slam out there. Yeah. That's like a Tom Cruise move, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think like if I would turn that into my talent.
That would be your thing.
Like I'm going to stage ice
he
skate
wears fluffy
socks.
white socks everywhere he goes.
I mean, I don't hate it as like a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But none of them really stood out to me. They were all except for who was the super jacked guy that she seems to just like turn into a
Luke P.
Luke P.
Can we talk about Luke P?
Luke P. Sure. Luke P. Who was introduced as like, I like took advantage of girls in high school and just.
He seemed like borderline.
Is that what he said?
No,
right?
pretty much.
Yeah, he kind
virgin?
of like a born again virgin kind of guy.
Yes, because
he
was taking a shower, which they're just like, let's show you in the shower.
Oh yeah,
when you're
like as a producer,
God
when you be like first
talking
5 minutes, be like, yeah, we're gonna.
So you didn't see the first episode. So his story is that like you tell it because you've seen it more recently.
When he grew up, he was like, I was a good-looking kid and all that stuff, and girls were aware of that, and so I took advantage of a lot of things.
He was like, I was fucking and sucking.
Really? That's
wait.
And then it's like one day I was taking a shower and God spoke to me.
What?
God spoke to me and my life changed. My life changed there. So I was thinking, it's like, holy shit, Luke P is going to be like, oh my Hannah, it's like, have you found Jesus? While he's
just like buffed out,
just like
something
like that.
Counselor.
But then he his intro was like jumping up on the hood. Of the not the hood of the car, but the top of the limo,
hood of a nun.
Be like, rah, like all beast mode.
Yeah, because the Hannah Beast thing.
Oh, okay.
That's from a previous season.
So he's just like, so maybe the religious thing will come back.
Now
later.
I want to also say this, that in this episode, you probably didn't get to it. There is a point at the last cocktail party where he like pulls her aside, and they are like
getting after it.
Like they are like they're like heavy petting.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. We're gonna edit that directly out.
I don't know what you call
How
it.
dare you? I don't like that.
They're like
You better be
deep tonguing.
You better be referring to a NoFX album right now, or I'm gonna walk out of it.
I think they're like dry humping.
Wow.
Ugh, I hate that. Why is that? It is so unpleasing to hear somebody say those words together. Dry. I hate that. I'm such a prude. I hate
they're rubbing on each other.
That's fine.
You can see it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yes, he takes his shirt off too.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
Luke P, I will say, when I saw him, I was like, okay, this is like this guy looks like he's chiseled out of granite.
He's on my fantasy league.
Super yoked. But then I heard him talk, and I was like, oh yeah.
Now when you look at him, just think Jake Gyllenhaal with his eyebrows, whatever he looks like.
That's gonna turn Ryan on.
Oh yeah, that'll just get me really.
There you go. Yoked and a Gyllenhaal. Fucking sign me up.
She thinks I have a crush on Jake Gyllenhaal.
Because he does.
Yeah, well. I've got eyes. Hey. No, but that guy was like, he's like, he was really chiseled, and the idea that he was explaining his religious convictions is interesting to me, because religion and the concept of God and things like that can be really complicated. Mm-hmm. But if that guy was explaining it, I'd be like, this is pretty much black and white. He's not gonna be.
She's coming off of a season with a dude who was a virgin. So
right.
So she,
Connor was a virgin.
Not Connor.
I should know his name.
Colton.
Colton. That's
Colton.
Right. Yeah. So Colton
was a virgin. Did she? Was she?
No.
No.
But they kissed at some point. They went on a really weird date in the desert, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They showed that. They showed.
Yeah.
But they didn't show, but then they just cut, and it's like, that didn't really work out.
Because they made some joke about her toasting skills. Yeah. Because she was so nervous on her one-on-one date with Colton that her toast was like, he was like, give us a toast. And she was just like, she was terrible at it, yeah. She was so bad, and she just said, roll tide.
She was bad on her feet. Yeah. You must get that all the time, where it's like, you're definitely, roll tide. People look at you and they say roll tide. Roll tide.
That's actually, that's like
but you're somebody who's extra good on your feet. I feel like comedians are like this, where it's like, if you're good at comedy, generally you can speak extemporaneously, with some kind of eloquence or structure, and they make these people do this, and they fuck up all the time.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're watching somebody? Like, have you been in a wedding where you're like, oh boy, here we go? Like, that's where I think of it.
Well, it depends on who I'm sitting with. But if it's like, if it's rough and I'm sitting with family, it's like, but if it's with friends for some reason or something like that, it's hilarious. And we're all just trying to be like,
because it's so bad. Like, yeah.
And
My comedy friends, I've been in situations where somebody has to speak extemporaneously and they are doing a poor job of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, there's almost nothing funnier than that, because we've all been there. If you've done comedy, you have to fail 100 times to do it right one time, right? So we've all felt that feeling, so you know what they're experiencing right in that moment, and that to me is like the funniest thing, that you're just like, oh man, I know that they hate this right now, but they have to keep talking for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, that to me I love, which is one of the things I like about The Bachelor, is that they make so many people speak in situations where they wouldn't necessarily ever talk. Like, that's like Ben's season. Ben
Higgins.
What?
He's such a good extemporaneous speaker. Yes.
So
Ben Higgins, the Tim Higgins of reality
I
shows.
mean, Ben Higgins is
very similar looking
essentially
guy.
the most beloved Bachelor of all time. I would say.
Yeah, he's
Higgins up there.
Yeah, well, you think about the improv scene.
He's
in
gonna be
Milwaukee,
your most
and-
beloved podcast about
But like, his season, he's like this guy where when he talks, all the women just like fall over dead and stuff, and like, it's not even that impressive, but his ability to just talk and be captivating.
You know what he looks like, though, right?
Yes, he's a very handsome guy.
Yeah.
So like, watching that, I was like, oh, this guy's
kinda
locked in. Whatever he does is going to be fine.
But he's he's
Insanely
sales.
hot. Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say
Yeah.
he's in sales, but that's also...
Oh, you said it in
that's
sales?
that's another thing that I found. It's just like he's in sales.
He's in sales, like
Insanely hot.
insanely hot. Yes.
Yeah, he finds his quota.
Let's take a break, and we'll be right back with Tim Higgins. We're going to talk a little bit more about the episode 2 and episode 1. This is good because we get to kind of hash both of them out. We'll be right back on Welcome to Reality. Hey, welcome back on Welcome to Reality. I'm Ryan Mason. I'm here with Tim Higgins and my lovely co-host, my wife, Nicole Torpy Mason. We're talking Bachelorette. This is a show where we introduce people, reality virgins, to the world of reality TV, and we're talking the new season of The Bachelorette. Tim has been going over some of the people that he's interested in on the show.
Yeah.
Some of the men he's interested in on the show.
You know, there's so many.
Who stood out to you?
Well, there was just this odd moment. It's like they all look bro. I mean, they are all fit.
Yeah.
They all are chiseled in some way.
some of them
There's
would
no
be like,
shapeless embry bro. What?
No, that they would be like, that's a compliment. You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's no dad bod amongst them.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, they're all being gentlemen and stuff like that. But then this one guy comes out. I think his name was Devin. And he's a talent manager. And he said, hi, yeah, I'm Devin. And I'm a virgin. And she's like, what? And he's like, no, I'm kidding. No. And I'm like, well, that's
It's a weird thing to say.
very fucking weird to say.
Again,
that's so
What a
so
cool way
college.
to say
That's so,
you've had sex.
Well, again, it's because the Colton who she was on, it's because he was a virgin.
What? That's
In the
Which,
previous
by
season.
the way,
Yeah, bring that up.
We don't. I mean, we've talked about that. I think we did Colton's season.
Yes, we did Colton's season. He jumped over. Here's the long and short of Colton's season. He was a virgin. He jumped over a fence and then married some boring lady.
He kicked off a woman and then decided he shouldn't have kicked her off and went back to her.
Yeah, he felt bad about it.
Which is pretty. It was one of the most dramatic seasons of The Bachelor of all time. But
he jumped over a fence too because another person jumped over the fence.
Yes, so that was one of the entrances, and I feel like the show would be remiss to not have
Somebody jumping over fences.
Yeah, one of the competitions being the men jumping over fences because she loved
What if,
Colton,
now hear me out,
who then
Nicole, what if
broke
they
up with-
mended fences?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Any sort of fence activity, I'm here for.
What if, now hear me out, what if they fenced?
But I think they should have to jump a
Like
fence.
swashbuckling.
Jump a fence to get to her.
What if they wore a fencing outfit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm here for. Tell me
While
more.
settling a disagreement of another person.
Wait, just like by
headgear
talking?
and everything.
Yeah, mending a fence while fencing.
And Tom Sawyer's there,
Yes.
and it's just like, we got paint in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are these good jokes? I'm going to lead with this.
No.
Well, I have learned two things. When you improv, you yes and then if you don't know what to say, you say roll tide.
Roll
Roll
Tide.
Tide.
Roll tide.
Roll
God.
Tide.
Have you ever heard any improv from Alabama? It's just Roll Tide. It's just you guys saying Roll Tide.
And everyone loves it. They love it.
Bear Bryant, Roll
It's-
Tide.
Except for Auburn fans. They hate it.
Oh, they do. They
Is
do
that
say
right? Am I right?
They say War Eagle. That's the thing they say. War Eagle. Which, like,
God damn it.
objectively is
So
not as good.
stupid.
Right?
I don't know.
Like, I'm sorry to
Roll
all
Tide
our
isn't good
to all our
either.
Auburn Tigers fans.
But it's Crimson Tide, right?
That's correct.
Like the blood thing, like the
No.
period thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like earning your wings thing.
So also
Right.
a period
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pensacola Wings of Gold. What are you talking about?
Anyway, let's move on. You may not have seen this part, but I do want to touch base on one thing. One of the dates that she went on, they went four-wheeling.
Yes, Muddin.
Mud.
Which, like, I've gone... Have you ever gone four-wheeling?
Yes, of course.
Have you gone four-wheeling?
No.
I've gone once, and
Not of
I was
course.
really scared.
Nobody invited you because the no
No.
friends thing, right?
I didn't like it. It was very scary. Because
Why
they
did I
do
let you
seem
know
to-
that?
But she wore all white to this...
Yes. Which is
Date.
clearly producer
Of
driven.
course,
I
of
think.
course. But, like,
Her teeth are also so white. She
Very
has great
white.
teeth.
she's a pageant lady, so...
She's-
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
She's beautiful
Yeah,
looking. we should
she's
say.
not an actress. She's not this. She's just a pageant lady who does acting.
She did, yeah.
Is that what she said?
They said that.
I mean, she's
Or
very...
some guy said
acted.
that. One of the.
No, one of the guys said something like,
I love your acting.
no,
No.
I think he was like putting down some other guy who I don't remember. Do you remember? I feel like he was like you're treating her whatever. She's not an actress. She's a real person who wants to be here or whatever. I think it was
okay.
it was like one of those like classic like I'm here for the right reasons moments.
okay, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like
Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But like I just thought it was a weird choice, and also so the contestants on the show have to furnish all of their own looks. So that doesn't
Pay for
seem
their own clothes.
yeah. So that
Like, you don't get ABC money to go buy cool
there's
clothes.
no-
Interesting.
So, like, I would literally show up wearing Tevas. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like...
they wouldn't let
Yeah.
you on. There's
I'd be like, yeah, well,
requirements.
my wife doesn't give me a budget for my clothes,
Well,
so...
if you had a wife, you would not be there for the right reasons.
Fair enough.
That would be concerning.
Fair enough.
But they wouldn't let you on. But it doesn't seem as impressive for the men, but for the women are wearing, I mean, gowns every week.
Think of the gown. That's why the one guy who shows up, let's say there's one guy, he's wearing Tevas,
Yeah.
okay? And he's not, it's the Bachelorette, not the Bachelor, you know? Or no, Bachelor, right? All ladies.
No.
in
ABC,
gowns.
So-
ABC dresses the Bachelor or Bachelorette. They get...
But
Yeah.
them coming out of the limousine,
their own
that's all
clothes.
their own stuff.
Yes.
Which is why some coats were just like, oh, you didn't put that on for a while.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Some of the clothes when they get out of the car, you're just like, what exactly were you thinking when you put this on?
I like looking big in
well.
coats.
Yeah, but these are like real burly dudes at times.
Yeah.
Not burly.
Well,
but
I
just,
mean,
like,
half of
yoked
them
up.
are like personal trainers who probably don't own suits. I mean, I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, if you don't have to wear a suit to work every day, why would you own more than one or two suits?
Now they own a couple of seasons of the USA show Suits on DVD.
And please bring
but they
that
can't
to
wear
me
those.
because if I was the Bachelorette, yes, put it on. Let's watch Suits. I'd love to.
They just come in and he's just holding a DVD of the show Suits.
Hey, you know who's from Suits?
The Queen of
The
England.
new Queen of England.
Or what?
Queen of England's from Suits?
No, what's her name?
Prince Harry's,
Harry's wife.
wife.
You know your sister.
Meghan
with the
Markle.
bag. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she's the Duchess of Sussex.
We should say
She has a bag that will not stay on the shelves because
That's
people
what I'm
want
told.
it.
Yes. So this show in the second.
Sorry. That didn't really landed late.
I love
for
when
me.
I give you nothing.
It landed
Like,
late for
Yep.
me.
That's my role. It's just to give you zero. I looked at my
It's
notes
not
and
first time.
I
That's why I'm so-
totally checked out, which is
Aw.
great. Fred Willard's on this episode. We should say he's a
Yeah, you
an
probably
announcer
missed that.
during the portion of the roller derby, which would have been great if you had watched it.
Son of a bitch.
Improv.
He was really funny.
King.
He was really funny.
He was
but
great. He's like 1,000 years old
I
too.
just-
So
Can I just?
you guys have a lot in common.
I just want to say one thing. I thought it was a tragedy, a gosh darn tragedy, that they had a roller derby team on and they did not list the team names, nor did they list any of
player names.
The player
names. That was such an opportunity.
The only one I saw just by chance was Whoopi Goldberg, which was very funny.
That was the only one they announced, but all the guys...
They didn't announce it. She was just in the background.
If they had been like, hey, we need you to think of a roller derby name, and like they put these guys on the spot, it would have been great to just hear them do it. So what would your roller derby name be if you had to think of one on the spot? Bachelor. It doesn't have to be Bachelor related too.
My God. Rolly Fingers.
I mean, Rolly Fingers is good because you're Milwaukee.
That's very funny. The Bachelorette would not get that joke.
No, she wouldn't. Roll Tide.
Oh, good. Yeah, there you
Roll
go.
Tide. Yeah,
Roller
there'd be like
Tide.
100 Roll Tides, right?
Yep.
I guess she's
Or
Alabama.
Roller Tide.
It would have to be
Roller
like
Tide.
About You, and either like Wheels, something Wheel.
This is good. We should continue
Me?
this conversation.
No, well, I would have to think of one, right? Would it have to be about you, or would you make it about The Bachelor? Would it be mine?
You'd want to... Well, I mean, if you could make it about the Bachelor...
I would call myself
definitely.
Virgin Suicides.
That's good. I actually like that. That's good.
That has everything to do with...
This has nothing
know.
to do with The Bachelorette, nor does it have to do with anything else, but in a previous life I was part of the roller derby, and I've always regretted not choosing the name John Wilkes Vermouth, and that's a good
What was your name, Nicole?
My name was Nicole 45.
Nicole?
I know, it did like, you know.
Were you a part of
I was a
derby?
beer leader. I was
Okay.
not a roller derby girl. I want to make that very clear.
Nice.
A beer leader.
Yeah.
Remember those derby... They had derby... Like, getting way off, but the derby shows... Like, where they'd have to go up a high wall and stuff, like, on the networks.
You're older than us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that.
I don't remember.
See,
my
people
dad-
chisel out things.
My dad was a big fan of those.
But no, it's
yeah.
like...
They had a banked track in this episode,
Yes.
and they made the guys actually compete in some
was
form or
hard.
other, which was fun because you got to know a little bit about them and their competitive spirit and like the way that they interacted with teammates. So I think that was a good tell of like who's a good dude, who's not. Connor
That's
something
true.
like smacked his head on the ground really
Connor,
hard.
yes.
One of the
hard.
Connors. I think there's more than one Connor, at least in the house.
Was it really sweaty
Connor J.
Connor J. Hit his head very hard on the ground, and then they just kind of moved on extremely quickly.
There was one...
and then she later in the
I believe
episode, she
hit him
consoled a guy who kind of hurt his ankle. So, like, one guy hit himself in the head very hard, and then a hotter guy hurt his ankle, and she was like, how's that ankle? Roll Tide.
Who hurt the ankle?
Big guy.
They probably have it written
They're all
down.
big guys to me, though.
Was it the carbid collar?
What's a carbid collar?
Probably with like selling cars at auction.
Oh,
Like
carbid
like
collar. Like an
carbid.
auctioneer.
Carbid.
Okay.
Carbid.
So that's what he called himself? I don't know. Let's talk about we're approaching later, like the end of the episode. Let's talk. Let's quick hit some of the guys we didn't like.
I'm sorry. Before we do that, there is one portion of this that we have to talk about, and that is that Cam
Cam.
is a really important part of this episode.
Well, that's a good segue. Cam was one of the guys I don't like.
Okay, yeah. So there's this like sort of trope on this show of people who try to monopolize time or.
It seemed like Luke P was doing
Luke
that.
P, and
very
by the way,
much so
Luke
in the
P
first.
was very much like people were like if you
He's just trying to find space for his muscles. He can't stand just anywhere.
One of the things that's like a trope on the show is if you get the date rose. So when you go on a group date, one person gets a rose, and that means they're safe. So there's this like trope on the show where if you get the date rose, when you go to the cocktail party, like stealing her away is kind of unfair to the other dudes because you're already safe.
Oh,
and so those people usually are in a bad space, but Luke P did it, and people were mad at him, but they just like the dry humping situation.
Is that when it happened?
Yeah. During the cocktail party.
Took her away, knowing he was safe.
Right.
To dry hump.
Yes.
To grind.
Yes. And Cam walked. It was like
on the first episode.
Cam came in. No, second episode.
Cam walked in.
Cam was like, "What are you doing?" But let's talk about Cam because.
Yeah, Cam.
This happens before.
Then I think maybe he was like put on by that. He was like, "Hold on."
No. When he showed up to the date was prior to this.
Okay, but it seems like he knew that he could monopolize time,
Yeah,
Cam did. So like he
you
goes
watched this episode.
into. I know, but like so. What I'm saying is
Right,
like he knew he could monopolize time, and he knew ahead of time that that's what he was going to do. He brought chicken nuggets, Nicole. He had to plan ahead to bring the chicken nuggets.
No. I understand. That's the cocktail party. I'm talking about the group date that he was not invited to.
Oh, see, I don't remember that at all.
Okay, you did watch this episode.
Yes.
In the episode,
in the episode they have this group. They have a group date.
Yep.
He is not chosen. So when in the early episodes, there's these like things where they do 2 group dates, 1 single date, and then there's usually like 3 or 4 guys who don't get to go on either, and that's like a whole thing and whatever.
Was this when Hannah started crying, or was that after? Was that at the end?
That's the cocktail party.
Okay, so she started crying and she's like,
stuff.
Well, you know what? You can go on and watch it. It's fine.
I can. I know.
So that's a cocktail party. But so they go on this date, and Cam did not get invited to either group date nor the one-on-one date. Ooh. So he was upset, and like after the roller derby event, they go to kind of have like cocktails together, or whatever. This is prior to the like full person cocktail party,
right?
And Cam,
it's like
just
a wedding
shows
every
up.
day.
Okay,
yeah.
And Cam just shows up to this date that he was not invited on, brings her flowers.
That seems wild. That seems like every guy should do that then. What's to stop that?
There were so many things where it's just like, oh, this thing just happened. It's like Scott. Like, you don't know Scott because he was kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about Scott.
Well, he was like a poor man's Joey Fatone.
Okay.
Or a young Joey Fatone. And I was just like,
poor young Joey Fatone.
That seems like a good joke.
So Joey Fatone.
But poor.
He was poor when he was young. Go on.
It's like it's the dimension that they weren't picked up.
Okay. Joey Fatone had he never become famous.
Why did I bring this up? Shit.
Because he got kicked off.
We're talking about
interrupting,
trying to get
outside the concept of the show.
Too aggressive, maybe like
nah,
a little too alpha, a little too aggro.
No, he didn't do that. Shit. Why the hell did I? No.
Hold on.
Were you just thinking about Joey Fatone?
No. There was a reason. What did you put in my drink?
I will say that, like, when people play outside of the concept of the show and they go in and they interrupt other dates, like, that can... It never works out in the favor of that person in the eyes of the audience. It might work out in their favor because, like, they're dry humping somebody. That's what they wanted. But in the concept of the show, I don't know that it works very well. So,
I just
was he doing that?
And it's very funny. Like, yes, that is...
He's a Joey Fat one.
Yeah, not a fat one.
Shrunk down Joey Fatone.
Yeah, yes. But it's like that just happened. He just ate up an hour of their one-on-one time.
Oh, Scott was the one who had like a girl back home.
Yeah, Scott was from Chicago.
Yes. Okay.
But it's just like she's like, I need a minute. Just give me a minute. And she walks out and she goes by her plotting pool, or whatever. And then. What's his name? Luke P. goes out.
Great move by Luke P.
Boom. I'm like, why aren't any of you guys who didn't spend any time with her jumping on
Great move
she
by Luke
needs
P.
to be consoled.
Yes.
Give her like 30 to 45 seconds.
That's all.
And then jump. Well, but I mean, it's like...
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the show.
He did the move where he went out and was like, hey, I don't want to interrupt if you need time, but I just want to know if you're okay. And it was such a good move. It was a great move.
Then followed up by other Luke S., who has a very big head.
Who I don't think makes it through, right?
No, I don't
does
think
he
he does.
It?
No, I don't think he makes it.
Because I don't remember him being.
Everybody she kissed in the first episode, they made it through.
It's a fun. Yeah, that's true. Like if you can get to the point where you're like planting one on them, then you're doing okay. Mark your territory.
But I want to say
she kissed Cam way too soon.
What do we got here? Okay, there's one other thing I want to get to.
Sure.
You may not have seen. You probably didn't because I think it was towards the end. But Cam shows up at this date, and there's this weird moment or weird series of moments where he comes to the date, he does his like thing, whatever. He's leaving, and they're interviewing him, sort of like on the lot of where the date was. And I think Tyler C is the first guy who goes out, who's like, hey, this wasn't cool, like, whatever, which is weird. But then, like, every dude realizes, like, oh, fuck, I should also go out and do that.
Yeah.
So it's literally, like, this, like, rotating
cast
of dudes coming out and being like, well, it's my turn to tell you like that you shouldn't have done this, and like the whole time Cam's like, well, I don't know, I just wanted to come and say hi.
And then they build up afterwards.
Yeah.
So I might have seen.
Oh, it was Dustin who twisted his ankle because he got the group date rose.
Dustin, not the virgin thing.
Can we talk about the chicken nuggets?
Yes.
Cam brought?
Okay. Yes. So then we go to the final cocktail party, which is what they do just prior to the rose ceremony, where they kick people off.
Yes.
So please explain the chicken nuggets thing.
Okay, so like he's gonna interrupt.
Cam
is very alpha, and he likes to exert himself.
He's also not hot enough to have this kind of
confidence.
It's like
confidence.
He has like what I call like first chair band geek confidence.
Yes,
that's
it's
probably
wild.
and that's what got him.
Yeah, where he's like, you know what,
Where he is.
I am gonna talk to her. I'm first chair trumpet player. But like the hot girls will be like, all right, but like I'm not really into trumpet. You know what I mean? Like,
but have you heard Chuck Mangione?
Yeah, ever heard of a little guy called Winston Marsalis?
Yeah, because you kept saying like Darren, who was like the larger black dude who like
that guy had like real confidence.
Yeah, like you were like that guy is like not.
He didn't care one bit if the other guys were hanging out with Hannah.
Yeah.
And it could have been construed as like, oh, maybe he's not into Hannah, but it also could have been construed as he don't care. He gonna be okay. He's like very much
like
alpha.
because you kept saying he was just like every time like they were fighting, he was just like okay.
Yeah. He also looked like he could knock Jed into the next
He's
planet.
very good looking.
You know,
and apparently he lists his age at 25, and that's shocking.
Maybe. What I wanted to say about Cam is that like Cam has this like first year band geek confidence, and he comes in and he interrupts people a lot. And in this instance, he brought chicken nuggets so he could make like a joke about how like I thought you just needed a snack kind of bullshit. And number one, it's like Hannah doesn't eat chicken nuggets. Like, if you've seen her, you're like...
Oh, come on. She's like 24. She might eat chicken nuggets.
Maybe she does, but...
She fucking hates herself afterwards.
But she's like 24. She's still living her life, like, eating shit. Like,
she looks amazing.
Looking great, eating shit, drinking wine every night. Good for her. No jealousy.
White teeth, looking great.
Yeah,
and eat as many chicken nuggets as you want.
Who did he clown during that? Who was there? Was it
I don't
Tyler
remember the
C?
guy's name. It might have been Tyler C. Tyler C walked her out, and then Cam is there with the chicken nuggets. And then he brings up specifics to their date, like it was like this cool thing where he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to bring up this thing and have it on our date," to this other guy. And like this like Tyler C doesn't like just stop him and be like, "This is lame." Like what you're doing is really unfun for me. But I get that we're in competition here. But it's also not cool.
But he specifically asked the dude to come over as well. Like he was trying.
Cam asked the dude, or
so I think it was Tyler C. And Hannah were sitting and having like an alone time moment because you know they do that like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I steal you for a second?" Mm-hmm. And he was like, No, you come with. And he had the dude come with, and he like sat them down on like a blanket and was like, "I have this like whatever chicken nuggets or whatever." But he like specifically made the dude sit there too, so he was like trying to clown him, which is really fucked up.
Yeah, that's weird.
That said,
he cucked him. He cucked him with the nuggets. He nug-cucked him.
He
got out his nug cucks.
I wanted to be the first. I want to be the first nug cucker.
God damn it. Somebody hashtag nug cucks.
That said, I did think that was funny.
It was a good bit by the end of it, but at the same time, I was just like, this is a nerdy
He basically, he had like a picnic of chicken nuggets set up, and then he like pretended to propose, and inside was like honey mustard dipping sauce, which like if it was
clearly written by somebody else,
of course, but like let's say in theory your girlfriend really,
not that it has to be original, it better be original recipe.
those are definitely McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I'd be like, this is not cool, but if it was like Popeye's spicy
I know
ones, I'd be like, you
saw the shape of
okay.
them. You saw the shape of them. Those were chicken.
Yeah, they were
those
like
McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I'm sure ABC.
That said, if your girlfriend really loved, you can't have a girlfriend. But if your fake girlfriend loved chicken nuggets, and you had like a little thing, and you were like, "Here's your," I thought it was cute.
All right, fine.
Except he's horrible, and he's not cute enough to have that confidence.
I love fried chicken, but I don't want to eat it before I'm supposed to be.
I just looked at my notes. It was not Tyler C. It was Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Who got nug cucked. Cuck, nug?
Nud
What did we
cuck.
say?
I think nud cucked. It's so close to nunchucks. I love it.
I'll fight you with my
So I think
nud
we're
cuck.
coming up on time, and it doesn't really matter. She kicked. Did she kick anyone out? Do we have a ceremony?
Yeah, there's a ceremony.
Oh yeah, but like Luke P interrupted her last diary session
Yeah.
to like
To give her a massage.
to
Wait a minute.
to dry hump her.
Luke,
Yeah.
okay.
They were like,
so
you know,
Cam
it's-
interrupted.
then
Luke
they
P
did a ceremony where they kicked off whoever. I don't know. I didn't even write down. who she
The
kicked
dry
off.
humping must be driving the ratings because it happens so much on the show now.
It wasn't really. I mean,
Don't you think?
yeah, of course.
What's your take on this,
What's
Tim?
your
Do you
take
have
on
a
dry
take on
humping?
dry humping?
Dry humping. I mean, it's
God.
when go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just to dry hump with everybody and then get upset with it.
Yeah,
That is something that I'm just like,
I don't want to do that after I've had chicken nuggets in my belly.
yeah. So I just ate 5 chicken nuggets. Can
When do
just,
you not have
don't-
5 chicken nuggets in your belly?
I know. We have kids.
You need that.
We have
protein.
children.
Yeah. Oh my word.
But yeah, so they did the rose ceremony. She went to do her like thing where she talks about it. Luke P was like knock knock, came in and then like made out with her, which is like it's fairly unprecedented. I think there's been 1 or 2 other
Yeah.
times, but
Probably mid-season, Luke P is going to have God talk to him.
Do you think
and
so?
say stop.
That's
stop,
a great
stop dry
prediction.
humping her.
That's a great prediction.
Well,
It was like, do you think the friction will like cause some sort of fire, like, and then it'll be like sort of like a burning bush situation,
burning
like,
bush situation.
Could be.
Gross.
Possibly.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Her nose is always red, and I wonder if she has allergies.
She did have a red. I mean, you probably didn't notice that because I don't think it was on the first episode. But this episode, yes, she did have her. I thought maybe it was sunburn.
They need to give her more time to herself. Because there was a weird point in the episode where she starts crying, and then she says, guys, this is me being real. And then she says my favorite quote of the whole episode. She says, quote, this is me right now. And, like, I just love that because it's like, who are we talking to before?
I
was
honestly
that?
think she was very, very tired because the first
drunk
night,
or tired, yeah,
yeah, because the
fine.
first night, so then what you watched, so that first night is all night long. It's literally from like
Yeah, sun up to sundown.
like they
And then
are
moving
like
on.
if you see the people who get kicked off after that first rose ceremony, it's like morning.
Okay.
Because that
Yeah.
cocktail party goes like all night long.
It's like Yom Kippur.
So I think they're very,
I
very
don't, I don't know. I'm making that up.
And as someone who cries a lot when they're very tired, like I get it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like I think she was crying because she was tired.
They made a big deal that, like, dating with the whole, like, Scott thing, it's like, when was the original party? Was it Saturday? Because it's like, you just got done dating this woman at...
Because Luke
yes,
said
Monday.
Because
Yes.
Luke said I love
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember this because I was.
Yeah,
we were
God,
watching
we
that.
didn't even talk about this. Luke said he loves her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
But they were like, when they were breaking down what you were saying about the guy being like, well, what exact day was it? They're like, get out your planner, okay? we wanna. Let's break it down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What time of day was it? Was it
because
late
if you
in the
were
day?
dating this person then...
I could see if it was like late in the afternoon and you talked to her and then you got on a flight, fine. You know what? Fine.
Yeah.
But if it was early evening,
F you, pal.
then buddy, maybe draw
What
a line
time
in the
zone?
sand.
What time zone?
Yeah. Was this Eastern time that you were talking to her? But yeah, Jed did, Luke P did say he loved her. But I have
no,
also...
he said I'm falling in love with you, which is very bachelor talk for like, or
Yeah.
bachelor
all
talk.
those guys.
I think
it's like,
I'm
you
falling
don't
in
talk
love with
like
you.
this.
I want to say about him though that like for Luke P saying that he loved her, he also like let's give him some credit. He tried to explain what love is and what God is like in 2 episodes. Like if in the next episode he's just like, here's how man was created. I'd be like, all right, let's strap in.
Let's say when we met, we're married, but let's say when we met, you looked me deep in the eyes, and I was sitting next to Miss J, Alaska Thunderfuck, and Alyssa Edwards, and you said, I think I'm falling in love with you. I would have been happy with that.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
That's the moment.
Yeah.
I thought he was just surrendering himself to the moment,
Yeah.
and I think that was fine. So...
We're
fine.
Team Luke P mostly because he's on my fantasy league. But
Let's say the one thing that we like to ask at the end of all of our episodes. We made you watch 2 hours of The Bachelor, and you graciously watched the wrong episode. But
and a little bit of the right episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you ever watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette again?
With people, yes.
Okay.
By myself, no.
Okay.
You know what? This is a very
For
social
purposes,
show.
stuff like this.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I would watch and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I would love talking about.
Maybe we've seen it.
This is a very social show too. Like a lot of people get together with their friends. I'm in a fantasy league. There's the bar that I'm a part of a fantasy league for has like nights. Yeah. To have people come and watch and whatever. Yeah. And it's a sports bar, so that's like a thing. Yeah. So hey, maybe get involved. Yeah. Go to a sports bar.
Prediction of
yes.
Yeah. Give me your prediction. It's gonna be Peter. It's gonna be Peter. Peter's the pilot. Because there were two pilots and one pilot had to go.
Yes, that's true. Now, Peter with the bad hair.
Nah, he didn't have bad hair.
I thought he did.
I thought he had bad hair.
He
wears a helmet a lot.
I don't have hair, so
good for him. All hair's good hair.
No, I have hair.
This much.
But anyway,
it wasn't bad hair. I thought for the shape of his face, it was a bad hairstyle. But yes, he had very thick, nice hair.
Because Demi and Katie, Hannah's Angels.
Oh, they like
so
Peter?
Good, right?
Yeah, like when they saw him talking, Demi's the best.
I love Demi. I wish Demi was the Bachelorette.
Which one was?
The blonde.
Blonde was Demi? Okay.
But she's so young. She's like 23. She's too young.
She's very funny. They're keeping her around for a reason.
She's so funny on her season.
Well, this has been absolutely fantastic.
Thank
Tim,
you so much for coming.
Thank you.
A great presence.
Oh.
We're in our cocktail hour, and come see Tim and I perform if you're ever in Milwaukee. If you're a listener locally, we perform the second and fourth weeks of the month. Second Tuesday, fourth Thursday of the month. Just follow me on Twitter, and we'll press out any dates that we have. But Tim's the best. Follow us on Instagram. Yeah. That was a terrible one. What am I missing?
I'll edit all of this out. No. We'll put it in the info. Okay. Check the info for this, and yeah.
And we'll see you next time on Welcome to Reality.